So today is 10th of July. So in this video I am going to speak on the concept of testing in Spring Boot. So we will start by understanding the basics of why is testing important in Spring Boot, and then adding concepts which are there in Spring Boot testing. So for it we will first move to the introduction part. Okay, so first we need to understand that in the testing there are means in the software development there are various cycles. The that is called the SDLC, software development life cycle. In this cycle there are various phases. As you are able to see in the diagram, we start from the requirement analysis, then we define various things as per a project, then design, then code it, test, deploy, and then maintain it. Okay, so this is what included in the SDLC. Okay, then moving on, why is it important to do the testing of an project? So it helps us identify bugs earlier and saves money. Then mitigates deployment risk and ensures system stability, increases productivity and speed up development, and promotes confidence among developers and builds trust. Okay, so this is a sort of example, but we will, when we gradually move forward, we will be able to understand this example. Okay, so these are the approaches for testing. That is the TDD and BDD. Means what we can do in the TDD, we write a failing test case first and then we write the code. But BDD, what we do, we write the behavior in human readable sentences. Okay, so as per my knowledge, this both of them are not preferred in the industry. What we do, what first we write the code, then for that code we write the test cases. Okay, then moving on to the second part, that is the understanding JUnit and AssertJ. Okay, so actually in the JUnit we have various annotations, that is the test. At the test we put it on the method in which we are actually writing a code. Then what should be the display name when the test will run, what should be it get displayed over there. Then at the rate disabled is actually if we want to disable a particular test case, when then we can disable it with the help of disabled annotation. Then moving forward to the JUnit annotations, there are few more annotations starting with before each, after each, before all, after all. Actually before each, after each, these four annotation listed over here are actually used to initialize things in the in the testing part. Okay, I would like to show you one example of it. Okay, so we move forward. Then there is a test package. In the test package we have various packages. We will first learn about this service. Okay, so wait a second, shall we start from service, or as you are able to see we have added the at the test? No, we will start from Spring Security. Okay, so there was a method to add numbers and it had a test annotation. So Spring Boot now knows that this is a test and then it will run it according to it. Okay, over here I have used the disable name, display name. So the string which I have added over here, which it will display its name as per that. Okay, then I have used disabled over here. Okay, then if we move forward, there are means JUnit is a testing framework, and the AssertJ is also a testing framework, but it's rather called an library. Okay, so it's if you can say that the JUnit, actually AssertJ is the extended version of the JUnit. Okay, so there are common AssertJ methods that if you want to assert phi, okay, then the phi is equal to phi, is not equal, is greater than. Actually the issue in the JUnit was actually that uh, when we need to work on different data types, we were not actually able to figure out that which method should we prefer. But to solve that problem, AssertJ comes into the picture. It actually has various methods, and it runs according to the values we provide to it. Okay, so this for this was the for the number part. If assert that 5, then we could also verify that the string starts with, ends with, or contains. Then boolean. Okay, we can also verify the list and array. Okay, we can also throw exceptions as per that, and many more. Okay, I would like to show you the code for it in the service layer. In this service layer, as you're able to see, okay, so this was the method. We have added the @test annotation over here. Give me a second. I think so. In the no repository, as you are able to see, I have showed you the before each. So we are actually setuping, we put the info in the user. So this will run before all the other methods, and it will initialize the user. Okay, so that was what we saw then. Okay, one more thing, that if you are writing a test case, if you want to write a test case for this class example, then what you need to do, you have to click over data service implementation dev, then control shift T. Then you will be able to create a new test for that particular class. Okay, so that's how it can be implemented. Then as we have saw the, okay, but I will show you the actual part. Okay, if you are able to see over here, I will show you that we can also use the assert. As you are able to see, the assertions are coming from the AssertJ library as well. Then we also have the, it also comes from the AssertJ and JUnit. See, you are able to see us, we have assertion in both AssertJ as well as the JUnit. Okay, so we can work as per our means requirement. Okay, so that was the part which actually I wanted to show you. Then moving on to the next, that is the unit testing versus the integration testing. Actually, the unit testing means we are working on a particular class. So the definition says that the single unit, where a unit commonly is a single class, we work on the single class, so that is the unit testing. For example, the tools actually used are JUnit and Mockito. Okay, so testing a service method, so that comes under unit testing. But in the integration testing, if integration testing means there is an service layer and persistence layer. Okay, but we need to test the interaction between them. So in that case, integration testing comes into an picture. Okay, so that's all about it. Actually, is there anything more? Unit testing. Okay, as you are able to see, in the unit testing we are actually testing this service layer, but over here we are actually getting, okay, we will look into it later. Okay, then actually we are first going to see the unit testing. Okay, so the unit testing for the repository, let me show you. Give me a second. Cut this previous ones. Unit testing, then okay, the persistence layer. So we can implement, I'm not able to get my, okay, this is the repository. So what we have done in the repository, let's see. So this is this means I have imported the test container configuration. Actually it is done with the help of Docker. Okay, where we create an image of it, but we will look into it later. What we have done, we have took the data JPA test. It actually has an H2 in memory database. Okay, then we auto configure test database that we want to replace by none or replace by any. That's all we can handle as per our own. Okay, we will see about the data JPA test. Okay, data JPA test is tailored to test JPA component like repository. It is used to test the repository. It has the in-memory database. Okay, and scans the JPA entities. By default runs each test within a transaction and rollback after the transaction completes. Okay, for the clean test. And we also use the auto configure test database annotation to configure the test database. Okay, if we do any, then the data source bean, whether it was auto configured or manually defined. Okay, if you do select the any, then none, don't replace the application default data source. Okay, so that's all about that. Then test container is actually implemented with the help of Docker, where we create an image. These are the steps. First we need to download the Docker application, then add the dependencies, and do add this in the configuration file. I will show you. In the configuration file, test config file, we have actually created the bean and service connection of the PostgreSQL container. Okay, so and import it with the help of @import. Okay, so that's all for the repository layer. Then moving on to the actually we need to then understand the Mockito. Mockito is useful for testing components in isolation without relying on their actual implementation or external dependencies. Okay, so Mockito is also really important, where we actually mock the working of any of the layer. Stubbing is also there. Then verification. We will directly jump into the Mockito methods. Okay, first we need to create the mock of that method, and then we do the stubbing part. I would like to show you it with the help of example in this service layer. For as you are able to see what I have done, I have took the image. Okay, then auto configured, and we need to first add the extend with Mockito extension. We have actually mocked the behavior of the repository. We don't want to load the exact repository, so we are going to mock its behavior. Okay, then I needed the model mapper, so I have used this spy annotation over here and inject that mock. We can create multiple mocks, and that mock will be injected in the user service. Okay, so as you're able to see what I have done, I have created a user. Okay, there are three things in it, that is the assign, act, and assert. We need to understand that there are three things, and as per that three things we need to work on it. I have created an user. Then I saw that whether user repository dot find by email, if this exists, then what we need to return. For this we need to understand the user repo. Give me a minute. In the user service, as you're able to see, what was that method? Get user by username. Okay, so we are actually testing this method over here. So what we are saying, that if there exists, then what we need to return, as we are returning error over here. Okay, so we will see what we are returning over here. We are also returning an optional of user. We are returning a user. Then what we are doing, we are acting on it. User service dot get user by username. Okay, then we take the user and add various, assert that method, that we need to get that ID, and that it is equal to that. We can also verify it with the help of the Mockito. As you're able to see, we have done the stubbing part. This is the stubbing part. When then throw another. Also we have done the verify methods. We actually have many verification means modes, that how many times it was called, never, at least once, at most one, only. There are various method, and also the argument capture when we pass the arguments. Okay, then we will moving on to the integration testing. It actually comes into a picture for the for the controllers. Okay, we need to test the interaction between two layers. We use the web test client for that. Okay, so there are various methods, that exchange, expect status, and many more. we will directly jump into the code part. Okay, give me a minute. In the actually I'm not able to figure out that where's my controller code. I think there's an issue in that. So we actually have various response method web test clients where we get the when we do the apply this method, we can get that. I will show you the wait. I will show you its example with the help of integration testing. That's how actually we get the exchange, and then we apply various method on it. That's how it's done. Okay, then moving on to the Jacoco test report. Actually, it helps Java code coverage, means it helps us to understand that code how much percent of code has been tested, what's actually remaining. So it's helpful for that. For that we only need to add the dependency, and then we will get the Jacoco file, index file in the target. Okay, I will show you that in the target. As you're able to see in the target, we have the Jacoco executable file. Okay, so that's all for today. Stay tuned for next video. Thank you.